The 2023 legislative session is nearing its end. Tonight, we're tracking a race to get new gun control proposals passed before time runs out. Plus, we're hearing concerns from the city of Richland's deputy manager amid a push to breach the Bateman Island Causeway. And a beautiful start to our weekend, but we are expecting some more showers as warmer temperatures move in this weekend. Jason has all the details to help you make your plans on his First Alert weather forecast.
Now, KAPP local news at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. We begin with breaking news. Desert Hills Middle School is responding to video that raised concerns from parents when it was posted on social media. Now that video appears to show students and school staff participating in a game that involved licking two sides of a plastic barrier. Tonight, a student's parents sent us this response that had been emailed by the district, saying the activity does not have district approval and will never be repeated in the future. The letter adds that after an investigation, quote, it's clear that the intent of the activity was innocent, end of quote. The superintendent says the district will be taking corrective measures, but since they involve school personnel, those will not be disclosed. One person is dead and another in the hospital after a crash in West Richland this afternoon. Police say a motorcycle on Bombing Range Road and an SUV on Mount Adams View Drive crashed just before 1 o'clock. This is right by the Benton County Fire District 4 building, for those of you familiar with the area. So far, investigators have not said what might have caused that crash. We'll keep you updated on our website, Yak Tri News, as we learn more. Northwest Harvest has served more than 2,600 families in 4 days at the Fruitvale Community Market. That since it opened just last week in Yakima. KVEW's Emily Goodell tells us the organization is now having to make some adjustments to accommodate the demand.
For the time being, they'll be doing everything through the drive-through. So instead of coming in and picking out food, people will be handed a bag of produce and a bag of shelf-stable foods out through the drive-through window. People will not be able to park in the parking lot right outside the market. Instead, they'll be asked to go around back to J Street, where they'll be put into a parking group, either A, B, or C. As those groups fill up, each one will be directed to go through the drive-through. Northwest Harvest says they'd rather have people inside getting to pick out their own food, but for the time being, this is the safest way to get food to everyone who needs it.
It validates what we had believed, which was that the need for an additional point for people to access food is very high in our community.
They're currently evaluating long-term solutions to the parking problem and are hoping that they'll be able to reopen the inside of the market soon. Reporting in Yakima, Emily Goodell, KAPP Local News.
Thanks, Emily. Tonight, the Washington State Legislature officially gave final approval to a second high-profile gun control proposal, which now goes to Governor Inslee for his signature. Senate Bill 5078 would make it easier for victims of violence to sue gun makers and gun sellers. Advocates say this proposal will make sure that gun makers are advertising their products responsibly and that gun sellers are doing everything they can to make sure their merchandise doesn't end up in the wrong hands. This comes after the legislature approved another gun control proposal requiring safety training and a mandatory waiting period before you can take a gun home. Governor Inslee requested both as well as several others and is expected to sign them. It's not clear when the governor will opt to review those gun control proposals. The Seattle Times reports the governor's office is expecting more than 450 bills to need a response from the governor during this legislative session. Most of those are adjustments to current state law. For example, several proposals that the governor signed this morning focused on updating policies and rules about healthcare workers. The goal there is to make sure that hospitals have as many people available to work as possible. But the governor also signed a new law loosening the rules on city and county tax money.
Now all cities and counties, regardless of size, have permission to use existing revenues to support affordable housing needs. This change also gives counties the opportunity to expand how they can use their existing revenues for behavioral health treatment facilities.
Both Benton and Franklin counties created a sales tax to fund mental health and addiction treatment services, but making those services a reality has been a slow process. Benton County is still working on determining who should run the planned Behavioral Health Crisis Recovery Center in Kennewick. It's official, the Biden administration is asking the Supreme Court to have final say on access to the abortion pill. This 1 week after dueling rulings in federal court over whether the pill should be taken off the market. ABC's Lindsay Watts is tracking that developing news.
We are going to continue to fight in the courts. We believe that the law is on our side and we will prevail.
Mifepristone is the primary drug used in over half of U.S. abortions. Last week, a Texas judge suspended FDA approval of the pill that was first cleared for use over 20 years ago. A federal appeals court has ruled it can stay on the market for now, but with restrictions. It will only be allowed after 7 weeks of pregnancy, down from 10, and will no longer be available by mail, even in states where abortion is legal. Women would also be required 3 in-person doctor's visits instead of 1 to get it.
Is that it's not just about abortion. This case, if it's not overturned, has implications for a wide range of drugs that are critical and life-saving.
Already, states have begun stockpiling mifepristone. Washington state spending over $1 million on 30,000 pills, an estimated 3-year supply. Since Roe v. Wade was overturned, 14 states have ceased nearly all abortions.
Show the bill passes.
Florida on track to join the list once its 6-week ban is allowed to take effect. The company that makes mifepristone says regulatory chaos will ensue if those restrictions start overnight, saying it will put the company, healthcare providers, and women in limbo, trying to navigate uncharted waters. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Now, the Supreme Court did issue an order today saying that people should be able to access the pill at least until next Wednesday at midnight. World News Tonight will have continuing coverage coming up at 5:30. And we're learning more about the 21-year-old Air National Guardsman accused of leaking highly classified military information to an online chat group. The suspect appeared in federal court today, charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of classified national defense information. He did not enter a plea. The judge ordered him to be kept behind bars until a hearing next week. Now, although court documents reveal how investigators worked to track down what they say is the source of the leak, investigators have not said what his motive for the leak might have been. Looking locally now, let's talk weather. We saw a beautiful afternoon, but we are talking more April showers on the way. Jason Valentine has a look at the timing in your first alert forecast.
All right, good Friday evening, everyone. Hope you've had a wonderful day today and have enjoyed the sunshine. Just gorgeous. As we get to our next 24 hours, we're going to be mostly clear overnight. Again, a chilly morning for your Saturday. We do expect partly cloudy skies, some sunshine, but we also have a chance of seeing a little bit of light showers in places as we get into our Saturday. So maybe have an umbrella on hand, but the showers should be quick if they do come to your area. As we get into Sunday, though, we have a chance of seeing a little bit more sustained showers, especially along the Blue Mountain region. And we are going to be warmer for our day. Today, we were right around 60 degrees. We'll be in the mid 60s for your Saturday and Sunday, depending on where you live, upper 50s to lower 60s as well. But warmer conditions right around our average for the weekend. And today, I hope you got out and enjoyed it. It has been a beautiful day, but more cloud coverage and again, showers possible for your weekend. I'll get you prepared for that in my full forecast that's coming up later in the show. But for right now, let's send it back to you.
Thanks, Jason. The city of Richland is raising concerns over a plan to breach the Bateman Island Causeway. The city leases the land from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They're planning to remove the causeway to improve water flow and salmon populations. It's an issue our Madeline Hagan has been covering for months. Today, she met with the deputy city manager of Richland.
Yeah, the city of Richland mailing this letter to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, who is taking lead on the project, citing many concerns about removing the causeway, one of them drinking water in the Tri-Cities.
The Corps draft feasibility report for removing the causeway does make note of built-up sediment containing potentially harmful chemicals on the north side of the walkway. Richland Deputy City Manager Joe Schissel says removing the causeway could mobilize that sediment, and 6 miles downstream are intakes for Tri-Cities drinking water. He says the report does not contain any investigation on the matter and should be looked at before the Corps proceeds.
There's a few things that we think that the study should still be looking at, like access to the island and impact to recreation, how fire is dealt with if and when that happens again.
There's also concern for the nearby marina and how the Yakima River's current could affect it. The Corps has maintained that removing the causeway would be all around better for salmon and other fish populations.
And Schissel says they really want to work together for the best possible outcome for recreators and the environment. Reporting in Richland for KAPP KVEW Local News, I'm Madeline Hagan.
Thanks, Maddie. Tonight, athletes from all around the Pacific Northwest are flocking to the Tri-Cities for 2 big sporting events this weekend. The National Softball Association of Washington's Icebreaker Girls Fast Pitch Tournament and the 60th Annual Pasco Invitational Track and Field event. A combined 4,500 players, coaches, game officials, and spectators are expected to come from out of town. That's going to generate an estimated $955,000 in visitor spending. Hector Cruz, the vice president with Visit Tri-Cities, says big events like these spark a lot of movement in the community's economics.
It helps our hotels. So this weekend, our hotels are full. We're seeing a lot of compression in the market. So people are staying at the hotels, they're eating at the restaurants, they're dining and just having fun and checking out our attractions here. Not only that, but once they stay here, they can be the first time that they experience what there is to see and do here in the community, and they'll want to come back for maybe a weekend getaway as well.
This will be one of the National Softball Association's largest tournaments, with 70 teams coming from across the Pacific Northwest, Alaska, and Canada at various ballparks in the community. The Pasco Invitational will be hosting more than 1,400 track and field athletes from 75 teams at the Edgar Brown Stadium and the John Crawford track in Pasco all day Saturday. Now, if your child's ever wanted to operate heavy machinery, there's a chance with the annual Dozer Day coming up this weekend at State Fair Park in Yakima. Kids can check out a full-on construction site, and with some help and some careful supervision, they can operate bulldozers, dump trucks, cranes, and more. Plus, a chance to explore fire engines, ambulances, even SWAT vehicles. Organizers from the Central Washington Home Builders Association say it's not just fun, this is actually functional too.
The goal of this event is kind of the earliest stages of workforce development. We're really excited to get kids enthusiastic about driving heavy equipment.
The event is open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Again, that's at State Fair Park in Yakima. Tickets are $10 a piece for general admission, but kids 2 and under get in free. And we should have nice weather for it. We're taking a look outside, talking about some possible showers over the weekend, but over the most part, we're seeing warmer temperatures and sun. Jason has the details coming up. And still ahead on KAPP KVEW Local News at 5, we're taking you to the Men's Expo in Pasco. Organizers say, despite the name, this really is an event for the whole family. That's next.
Tonight, go inside a murder mystery.
One person knows exactly what happened.
With the woman who risked everything to catch a killer.
Were you ever concerned that you're sleeping with a killer?
2020, tonight on ABC.
How'd you sleep last night?
Terrible.
Well, this will help you wake up.
Thanks, babe.
So what are we gonna do today?
Our show.
Oh, yeah.
From co-stars in life to co-hosts on live.
Weekday mornings at 9, starting Monday on KAPP KVEW.
You need new replacement windows, but you're just not sure if they're in the budget this year, right? I'm Brian Gary here with Ted Coons from Renewal by Anderson, and he's here to talk about how to make window replacement more affordable.
Well, first, Brian, you don't have to do them all. You could just replace your worst windows first. Or another way to make them affordable is to change the style of window. For example, you could do a gliding window instead of a casement. We have a lot of ways to make window projects really affordable.
Compared to other window companies, you have a completely different business model.
Yeah, with other companies, there's just too many people involved in the process. There's the manufacturer, the seller, and then the installer, and then the customer. And if you call with a problem, that's when they say, oh, well, we're the manufacturer. You have to call the installer for that problem, or vice versa. We're the full-service replacement window division of Anderson. With us, there's no passing the buck. At Renewal by Anderson, we sell, build, install, and warrant our windows and patio doors. So if there's ever an issue, we take full responsibility for it.
Why don't you sell vinyl windows?
Well, a lot of vinyl products just don't hold up well in the elements. You know, like a vinyl fence. When it's first installed, it looks great, but with expansion and contraction, it discolors and cracks. For that same reason, a lot of vinyl windows just won't last. Our window material is a composite that combines the best of vinyl and wood. Well, Fibrex is low maintenance like vinyl, but stronger than vinyl. And it's beautiful like wood, but doesn't require the upkeep of wood.
This month, Renewal by Anderson is offering a super deal on windows and patio doors. Buy one window or patio door and get the next one 30% off. And we have great financing available. Before April 30th, buy one window or patio door and get the next one 30% off. Plus, take advantage of our great financing options. For a free appointment, call 509-497-5400.
E.T. followed by Extra tonight at 7 on KAPP KVEW.
Welcome back. And happening this weekend at the HAPO Center in Pasco is the Men's Expo. Organizers say this features local businesses that cater to a male audience, but they say the event is really for the whole family. KAPP KVEW's Riley Fitzgerald tells us there is a lot to do, even some things to learn.
This is the second ever Men's Expo held at the HAPO Center in Pasco. Organizers say they started it to provide another resource aimed at man-centered interests after seeing a thriving Women's Expo here in town. There are many different booths, activities like a mechanical bull, wrestling, a beer garden, and more. One of those organizations represented here is a bit different than the others, showcasing here at the Men's Expo to bring awareness to something that may not be talked about enough. That's men's health. Amy House with Tomorrow's Health says it's getting better, but there's a ways to go.
I mean, myself, my age group is starting to break free from some of the past societal constraints and saying, okay, it's time to take care of yourself, and you have the power to do it and the legal right to.
Tomorrow's Health is hoping to grow awareness and let the community know that they're here for all kinds of laboratory testing. We're going to have more on Tomorrow's Health here at the Men's Expo coming up on KAPP KVEW Local News at 6. In Pasco, I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
Thanks, Riley. And also this weekend, an event that's sure to please rock and fossil fans. There's a gem and mineral show happening at the Holiday Inn on George Washington Way. It's hosted by the Richland Rock Co-op, and this event is also family friendly. The organizers have traveled around the world to stock unique gems, fossils, and other geological finds, from amethysts to fossils themselves. The show lasts through Sunday.
Now, KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. Hope you had a wonderful day today, and what a nice start to our weekend. Those changes are on the way tomorrow. Quick weekend rain is very possible, and we could see a little bit of sustained showers as we get to Sunday afternoon for the Blues and possibly the Mid-Columbia. It is going to be warmer this weekend. We're finally going to get back to our average, and then, have you heard this before, we're going to be cooling down in our next work week. So our future cast, very nice into our overnight period, but as we get to tomorrow, late morning hours, widespread band of just some light showers, and that will continue into the afternoon and into the evening hours. We'll start to settle down in our overnight period heading into Sunday, but then more substantial showers are possible again in the morning. And then as we get to the afternoon, we have a bit of a band, just like we saw a couple days ago in the Blue Mountain region, Monday night, with more shower activity and heavier cells coming through. And this is persisting into the evening hours. So that could persist also a little bit into the morning hours on Monday. So just a little bit of shower activity, again, a little bit more maybe intense for the Blue Mountain region as we get to Sunday evening. So our temperatures as we get into our weekend, right at the average for the Tri-Cities, which is 66. So that means upper 50s, mid to lower 60s for all of our cities. But we are going to be cooling down to around 5 or so degrees cooler in our next work week. So we just can't seem to get that heat bump, at least so far in the season of spring. Our winds are going to be light tomorrow. They were pretty much light today. They're going to slowly pick up on Sunday, and for our next work week, we're going to be between 10 mile per hour and could be up to 20 mile per hour sustained winds. So a little bit of breezy conditions in our next work week with those bit of cooler temperatures, but still no real wind events are expected here for the next 7 days at least. So today, nice and warm, but still below our average for our day, about 5 degrees off for Yakima, and we're right around it for our overnight low. So we head to the Tri-Cities, 5 below our average and right by it for our overnight low. So folks, we're going to see those averages though start to come through this weekend. So our countdown, tax day, just 4 days away, everyone. The NFL draft on ABC is just 2 weeks from yesterday, 13 days away, and Mother's Day is a month away, so plenty of time to plan how to pamper mom. All right, in our overnight period, we are right above that freezing level, a little bit warmer than it has been, and it's very calm overnight. Again, light winds into your Saturday. So we will see some sun breaks on your Saturday, but do expect some quick showers late morning into the afternoon and evening, but highs right around the averages for all of our cities, mid to lower 60s. Upper 50s. Still, you're going to find some niceness in your Saturday. Should be an all right day, just a little bit of showers, but some sun breaks here and there. 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Again, mid 60s through the weekend. Then we're right around, let's just say, the 60-degree mark for our next work week. More sunshine than not for the week ahead, but again, little chances of showers, which look to persist into our next work week. Overnight lows well above the freezing mark. In the Yakima region, right around 60 degrees through Sunday, and then mid to upper 50s for our next work week. A little bit warmer as we get to Friday. So folks, hope you enjoyed the sunshine today. We're going to see much more cloud coverage for your weekend. Light showers possible tomorrow late morning into the afternoon and evening. And then Sunday morning light showers followed by possibly sustained showers for the Blue Mountain region as we get to Sunday afternoon. But it is going to be warmer starting tomorrow.
Thanks, Jason. Trending tonight, this is the point of no return. The music of the night is leaving Broadway. Phantom of the Opera opened in 1988. It has been at the New York City's Majestic Theater ever since, even extending its final run longer than expected. This morning, New York's mayor gave composer Andrew Lloyd Webber the key to the city as a show of appreciation for how much this one musical has contributed to the New York City economy. Neighboring businesses say it'll be a different world for them come Monday.
That has been an anchor for us throughout its run. It's always something that we would count on as, okay, what this season, what's on the block? And again, 35 years, you know, these shows have all changed out, but that has always been the rock. But when something like Phantom comes along, that is a new idea, a new concept, you know, just something magical, it'll stay.
I love the cautious optimism there. We can hope that there will be something just as exciting on the way. Now here in the Mid-Columbia region, we are talking art and wine combined in a single event this weekend. The artist is also co-owner of a local winery. We'll hear what inspires her work next on KAPP Local News.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Sometimes you're so busy taking care of everyone else, you don't do enough for yourself or your mouth. But eventually it will remind you. When it does, Aspen Dental is here for you. We offer the custom dental treatments you need all under one roof right nearby, so we can bring more life to your smile and more smile to your life, affordably. New patients without insurance can get a free complete exam and x-rays and 20% off treatment plans. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Schedule your appointment today.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row, so get ready because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom, like this unbeatable deal on the Wrangler sofa, only $5.99. Save big on the Jordan Queen bed, only $4.49. Get the 5-piece colors dining set for only $4.49. And check out the queen size Summit Firm for only $332.49. Plus 3 years, no interest financing. The biggest sale of the season, on now at Furniture Row.
Want to drive?
Really?
Most of us agree our roads are safer when we put away our phones. But we still have some people to reach. So spread the message. And set the example. Because that's how we make the road a safer place for you and your loved ones. Together, we get there.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
I was born and raised in Prosser, and I opened my first checking account at Yakima Federal right after I graduated. I honestly couldn't continue keeping money under my bed. My parents actually have never built credit. They've worked in agriculture for many years. I wanted to build credit. Yakima Federal feels like a small community. I love the fact that they offer scholarships. That way people can start their new careers. My name is Alejandro, and I've been a Yakima Federal customer for a little over 10 years.
Jamie Foxx's mystery medical emergency. Next extra, we have an update on how he's doing today and what's next for the movie he's shooting with Cameron Diaz. Then Succession Secrets with only 7 episodes to go. Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on KAPP KVEW.
Saturday is World Art Day, and to celebrate the occasion, the Coyote Canyon Winery is opening up bottles of wine in its Artist Series for a special tasting event. These wines display the paintings by the winery's co-owner, Martha Nelson Andrews. She tells us her inspiration comes from the region, its history, and especially the wild horses that once roamed Horseheaven Hills.
I like to bring them back as ghost horses in the artwork. So the latest painting that we did is called Guardians at the Vineyard, and they're kind of racing through the vineyard where they used to live on the plains.
The Artist Series wines will be part of a tasting event Saturday afternoon from noon to 4. You can find out more about the artwork on our website, yaktrinews.com. We should have nice weather for wine tasting. Jason has a look at what to expect when we come back. And still ahead, news of a high-profile app founder being fatally stabbed on the streets of San Francisco made headlines around the world. Now the suspect in that case is making his first appearance in court. World News Tonight is tracking the case, coming up at 5:30.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you. Call 735-0546. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Hi, I'm Stan. Welcome to my Stan Talk. My theory, it's called triple play because you can have fun on land, sea, and air. On land, bowling, XD Dark Ride, and others. At sea, all the slides and pools in Raptor Reef Indoor Water Park. In air, the ropes course, Nebula Drop Tower, and new zip ride. Or maybe the owner just liked triple cheeseburgers. Thanks, everyone!
Triple Play has fun for everyone, including the brand new zipline ride. And it's all attached to a cozy hotel.
Mildly entertaining. I will take that.
Our phones keep us constantly connected. But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? To limit screen time, but not quality time. And to give us rhythm instead of algorithms. Introducing Us Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
Since 1968, Sundown M Ranch has helped over 200,000 patients and families recover from the effects of substance use disorders.
I was ashamed, humiliated, and not sure if I could be helped, but I listened and found a completely different way to live by spending time at Sundown.
I did not believe there was a way out of the dark hole my life had become. Sundown M Ranch provided a foundation for me to find a new way to live.
Sundown M Ranch. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Face off win. Bell scored! It was 26 seconds left. My goodness!
American season ticket memberships for 23-24 on sale now. Don't miss a minute. Visit amshockey.com for more.
We're seeing customers come in every single day. Pros are using battery equipment.
Making the switch to battery was one of the best decisions that we made as a company.
We made the switch to battery-powered equipment to be ahead of the industry.
It's made in America, and I wanted something that was built here.
This is where the world is headed. It's better to be ahead of it now than get on it later.
Built for you. Built for work. Real steel. Find yours.
Put some spring into your step with Great Floors. Shop exclusive specials throughout our showroom on carpet, luxury vinyl, and cultivated wood. Save on Karastan carpet, only $20.23 for a whole home installation. Our huge selection and expert team are here to help you recreate the perfect look and feel of your home. Great Floors offers 12-month 0% financing, so you are free to select the exact flooring you want. Visit a showroom today and live life on Great Floors.
Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you. Call 735-0546. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Welcome back. We're taking a final look at your first alert forecast with Jason Valentine.
All right, let's get you ready for your Saturday. Warmer conditions, and we will see some sunshine, especially in the mid-Columbia, but just keep an eye out for those quick showerlets, let's just say, late morning into the afternoon and evening. A little more cloud coverage for Yakima. Highs right around the average, lower 60s. Again, folks, we will be warmer for the entirety of your weekend before cooling off in our next work week. Walla Walla should be seeing a little bit more cloud coverage as the day goes on, mid-60s, and in Ellensburg, upper 50s. It's been Ellensburg steadily warming up as the week has gone on into our Saturday. More cloud coverage starting at noon. So spotty showers tomorrow. And again, folks, a little bit more sustained showers Sunday afternoon for the Blue Mountain region and possibly the Mid-Columbia. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Jason. Thank you so much for watching. World News Tonight with David Muir is next, and KAPP Local News is back tonight at 6.
How does free college or training sound? It's possible. Washington College Grant gives eligible people money for certificate programs, job training, apprenticeships, or college. Learn more at wagrant.org. That's wagrant.org.
Want to drive?
Really?
Most of us agree our roads are safer when we put away our phones. But we still have some people to reach. So spread the message. And set the example. Because that's how we make the road a safer place for you and your loved ones. Together, we get there.
Jamie Foxx's mystery medical emergency. Next extra, we have an update on how he's doing today and what's next for the movie he's shooting with Cameron Diaz. Then Succession Secrets with only 7 episodes to go. Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on KAPP.
Tonight, the suspect accused of leaking highly classified American secrets now charged under the Espionage Act. Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira in court today. Court records unsealed, revealing how the FBI says they tracked him down after news of the leak went public. Authorities accusing him of accessing top secret materials, sneaking some of them home and photographing them, then sharing those documents with his invite-only social media chat group. And when stories began surfacing in the news, the one key word he allegedly searched on his office computer, his message to his father in court. Aaron Katursky in Boston, Martha Raddatz in Washington. Also tonight, the Supreme Court issuing a last-minute stay in the legal battle over the abortion pill. The Justice Department and the drug maker warning of chaos if the new restrictions are allowed to go into effect. Rachel Scott standing by. Chilling new details about the killing of tech mogul Bob Lee in San Francisco. The suspect in court today. Prosecutors revealing Lee was stabbed 3 times, including twice in the chest. What we're now learning about the potential motive involving a possible fight over the suspect's sister. Several wildfires breaking out just north of New York City. Volunteer firefighters and residents battling the flames and trying to protect their homes. The state of emergency in Broward County, Florida, after more than 2 feet of rain fell in Fort Lauderdale in less than 24 hours. Families facing a massive cleanup as waters recede. Victor Oquendo in the flood zone. For the first time since the end of their administration, former President Donald Trump and his potential rival, former Vice President Mike Pence, appearing at the same event, the NRA convention in Indianapolis, taking place in the wake of 2 deadly mass shootings in Nashville and Louisville. Massive protests in France. Thousands have taken to the streets, some clashing with police. President Emmanuel Macron's plan to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64 getting approval today. The startling moment, a man on his patio comes face to face with a bear. And after 35 years on Broadway, the Phantom of the Opera is about to take its final bow.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us on this Friday night. I'm Whit Johnson. David is on assignment tonight. Several developing stories as we come on the air. That breaking news on the abortion pill, the Supreme Court temporarily leaving current rules in place, avoiding major changes that were set to take place tonight. But first, the suspect in that massive leak of Pentagon secrets in federal court in Boston today, less than 24 hours after his arrest, charged with 2 counts under the Espionage Act and facing 15 years if convicted. 21-year-old Jack Teixeira had top secret clearance as an IT specialist with the Massachusetts Air National Guard. His father seen leaving court after shouting to his son inside, "I love you, Jack." Court records detail how prosecutors say he handled the documents, alleging he eventually took them home to photograph them. And what they say he searched on his office computer on the day the first reports began to surface that intelligence documents had been posted online. The scope of the leak is still coming into focus, but the FBI already accuses Jack Teixeira of betraying the country and putting national security at risk. ABC's senior investigative reporter Aaron Katursky leads us off in Boston.
Tonight, the 21-year-old Air National Guardsman accused of putting the country's security at risk is behind bars, charged with leaking national defense secrets.
There are very serious penalties associated with that, and we intend to send that message, how important it is to our national security.
So do you have any comment about your son's charges here?
Jack Teixeira's father leaving court after calling out to his son, "I love you, Jack." Teixeira replying, "Love you too, Dad," before he was led from the room in handcuffs. Teixeira comes from a family with strong military ties. His mother volunteered with a veterans group. His stepfather retired after a 34-year career with the same unit Teixeira served, the 102nd Intelligence Wing at Joint Base Cape Cod. His senior year quote in his high school yearbook, "Actions speak louder than words." Online, Teixeira allegedly leading a group of about 24, mostly young men and teen boys, on the discussion forum Discord. Members of the group tell the Washington Post Teixeira was known as OG. He boasted of access to classified material, they said, and posted the secrets for them to see.
He was a very smart man. There's no way in any world that he would not know that he knew that these were illegal.
Someone spread those posts far beyond the small chat group, and they made their way around the world. Teixeira held a top-secret security clearance. Federal prosecutors said he improperly and unlawfully retained and transmitted national defense information to people not authorized to receive it, causing serious damage to the national security of the United States. Court records said Teixeira began posting classified information on Discord in December, first as paragraphs of text. Then, when he allegedly became concerned he could be discovered copying material at work, he began taking the documents to his residence and photographing them. Prosecutors suggested his fears of getting caught may have deepened last week. On the very day reports started circulating about the intelligence documents, the FBI said Teixeira started searching on his office computer for the word leak. The FBI said Discord helped investigators figure out who was behind the posts before an FBI SWAT team moved in to make the arrest. Teixeira sitting on his back deck as those heavily armed agents approached.
And Aaron Katursky joining us now from Boston. Aaron, Jack Teixeira now facing 2 charges, but more could be on the way.
Seems likely, Whit, because the charges so far are based on just one leaked document, and it's believed there are dozens more. The FBI tonight is trying to work through the full breadth of his disclosures, whether he was working alone and what his motive was. But with the charges so far today, Whit, he already faces up to 15 years in prison. Whit?
Aaron, thank you. And now to the troubling questions. How could a 21-year-old IT specialist have access to so much sensitive information? And why did it take the Pentagon so long to find out? Let's get to ABC's Chief Global Affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz. And Martha, President Biden today saying he's directed the military and intelligence community to take steps to further secure and limit distribution of this sensitive information.
Exactly, Whit. And we heard the Pentagon spokesman saying just yesterday that there are stringent guidelines in place for safeguarding classified material, but that clearly did not work in this situation. Jack Teixeira had a top secret clearance at such a young age because he worked as an IT specialist, so he would need access to classified computers to make sure they were working properly. But there would be no reason for him to print or copy information for himself about ongoing intelligence operations. And yet, if the charges against him are true, that was occurring on a regular basis and no one caught it. In fact, the Pentagon did not realize the leaks were even happening until months later, and that was only because of a report in the New York Times. Whit?
Alarming details. Martha Raddatz, our thanks to you tonight. Next here, fast-moving developments in the battle over the abortion pill. Late today, the Supreme Court keeping federal rules in place temporarily while it considers lower court rulings that have restricted its use or banned it outright. This avoids a dramatic rollback that was set to kick in at midnight tonight. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, the Supreme Court allowing the abortion pill mifepristone to stay widely available for now, putting on hold the several major restrictions that were set to go into effect in just a matter of hours. Justice Samuel Alito issuing a 5-day administrative stay, keeping the status quo for the pill used in more than half of abortions in the U.S., while the justices take more time to fully consider the court challenge.
We hope that the Supreme Court throws this case out. It is meritless.
and it's undermining the FDA's authority.
It comes after a week of chaos and confusion as federal judges issued conflicting rulings over access to the abortion drug. The Biden administration asked the Supreme Court to intervene to block restrictions that would have gone into effect tomorrow, preventing women from accessing the drug after 7 weeks of pregnancy, requiring 3 in-person doctor visits, and making it unavailable by mail. As of now, mifepristone can still be administered up to 10 weeks of pregnancy and remains available via telehealth and by mail for at least 5 more days.
Justice Samuel Alito only putting this on hold until late Wednesday, which means we could learn as early as next week whether the Supreme Court decides to take up this case. Whit.
Rachel Scott at the Supreme Court, thank you. Next tonight, multiple wildfires burning outside New York City, a large fire threatening homes in Rockland County. Volunteer firefighters and residents trying to beat back the flames. More than 100 homes were evacuated, several houses damaged, at least 1 firefighter injured. Authorities believe a passing freight train may have sparked the flames, then fueled by that record heat, wind, and dry conditions. Now to the state of emergency in Broward County, Florida. Fort Lauderdale getting more than 2 feet of rain in less than 24 hours. A torrent of water in a parking garage you see there. The mayor saying there's not one area of the city that hasn't been impacted. The cleanup will take days as the water recedes. ABC's Victor Oquendo is there.
Tonight, families in South Florida cleaning up after more than 2 feet of rain fell in Fort Lauderdale in less than 24 hours. That's more than a third of what the city gets in a typical year.
This is how you have to get to work now?
We met Elmi Maria, making her way through floodwaters on her way to work.
What's it like seeing your neighborhood like this?
It's bad, like knowing lots of people lost lots of property.
Water ruining much of what was inside Sylvia Koziel's home of 35 years.
We have no beds, no furniture, nothing to put back in there. Even our appliances are gone.
South of here in Hollandale Beach, tow truck drivers working nonstop.
We've been out here all night just clearing up some of the roads and just kind of moving some of the cars to the side and stuff like that.
And flights resuming at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, the storm shutting it down for more than a day.
And there is a chance of more showers this evening. It's sprinkling a little bit now, but drier weather is on the way, giving residents here that much needed break. Whit.
They're certainly looking forward to that. Victor, thank you. Next tonight, the suspect in the stabbing death of tech CEO Bob Lee in San Francisco appearing before a judge for the first time. Court documents claiming the suspect confronted Lee about his sister, hours later stabbing him 3 times in a planned and deliberate attack. The video and text messages, they say, support their case. ABC's DeMarco Morgan is in San Francisco.
Tonight, Nemo Momeni, the man police say stabbed tech executive Bob Lee to death, making his first court appearance as prosecutors accused him of a planned and deliberate attack. Outside the courtroom, the suspect's sister now at the center of the case. Court documents allege Bob Lee knew Nemo Momeni's sister, who lived in the luxury Millennium Tower apartment building. They say Lee, the sister, and a friend spent the afternoon drinking hours before Lee's death, and that Momeni later confronted Lee, asking if his sister had been doing drugs or anything inappropriate. Lee reassuring him nothing inappropriate had happened. Police say later that night, Lee joined Momeni and his sister at the Millennium Tower, and that cameras would show the 2 men driving off in Momeni's BMW around 2 a.m. to a dark, secluded area. Minutes later, Lee is seen walking away and injured. Prosecutors say he was stabbed 3 times, 1 penetrating his heart. A 4-inch kitchen knife was later recovered with blood on it.
Location is 365 Main, crossing of Folsom and Harrison. Stabbing.
Police piecing together Lee's final moments with surveillance images like these obtained by the Daily Mail as he collapsed outside of an apartment building. Prosecutors say Nemo Momeni fled the scene and left the victim to die. Momeni's sister allegedly sent a text message to Lee that night asking if Lee was doing okay. Just wanted to make sure you were doing okay because I know Nemo came way down hard on you. And thank you for being such a classy man, handling it with class. But the suspect's arraignment has been postponed until the end of the month. Whit.
DeMarco Morgan, thank you. Next tonight, former President Donald Trump and his former vice president and potential rival Mike Pence appearing at the same event for the first time since they left office, both addressing the NRA convention in Indianapolis in the wake of 2 deadly mass shootings. Here's ABC's chief Washington correspondent, John Carl.
Appearing at the annual convention of the National Rifle Association today, some of the nation's top Republicans made it clear they would oppose any tightening of America's gun laws in the wake of recent mass shootings.
With me at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, no one will lay a finger on your firearms.
Former President Trump did mention the recent shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, calling it monstrous. He also called the shooter who killed 5 in Louisville earlier this week evil and disturbed. Shortly before Trump spoke, former Vice President Pence took the stage.
Well, hello, NRA!
He faced scattered boos from those who apparently didn't like his recent remarks critical of Trump's behavior on January 6th. Pence also addressed the recent shootings, calling them unspeakable acts, and he called for measures to deal with mental health and school security, but he too ruled out any new gun laws.
We don't need gun control. We need crime control. We don't need lectures about the liberties of law-abiding citizens.
Republican South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem told the crowd her granddaughter, who is not yet 2 years old, already has her own guns.
I want to reassure you, she already has a shotgun and she already has a rifle. And she's got a little pony named Sparkles, too, so the girl is set up.
And an indication of just how much sway the National Rifle Association still has over Republicans, just about every declared or potential 2024 Republican presidential candidate was there either in person or remote via satellite. That includes not just Pence and Trump, but also DeSantis, Chris Sununu, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Asa Hutchinson. Just about everybody thinking about running for president felt they needed to be there today in Indianapolis, Whit.
And that race just barely getting started. John Carl, thank you. Overseas tonight, a victory for French President Emmanuel Macron. His plan to raise the retirement age to 64, getting the final nod despite months of nationwide mass protests. And tonight, after the ruling, protesters are back on the streets, more than 100 people arrested. ABC's Tom Soufi-Burridge is in Paris. Tom, good evening.
Yeah, well, as you can see, there's a heavy police presence on the streets of Paris tonight. Police officers trying to quell pockets of protest. Earlier, demonstrators clashing with riot police, setting fire to bins and bicycles. The government's unpopular law to raise the minimum retirement age here from 62 to 64 without a democratic vote has been approved by France's Constitutional Council after months of protest. President Emmanuel Macron saying people are living longer, so this reform is needed to balance the books. But the union's rejecting a meeting with Macron next week and promising more strikes. Tonight, protesters telling us they'll hit the streets again tomorrow. Whit?
Tom, thank you. Next here, the Justice Department announcing a sweeping crackdown on Mexico's Sinaloa cartel and its global network, accusing them of fueling America's fentanyl crisis. Attorney General Merrick Garland charging 28 people, including 3 sons of notorious drug lord El Chapo, who is serving a life sentence here in the U.S. Chemical suppliers in China also being charged. 8 of the accused are in custody, the U.S. offering rewards for several others. When we come back, the state becoming the first in the nation to pass a bill banning TikTok on all personal devices. And after 35 years, the final curtain call for one of Broadway's most iconic shows.
If you're 50 or over, you can be taking advantage of everything AARP has to offer right now. Join AARP for $12 for 1 year, and your second membership is free. Get instant access to discounts on everyday purchases, eye care and prescriptions, and tools and tips to help manage your money and maximize your health. Plus, AARP fights to protect your Social Security, Medicare, and more. Join and get an insulated trunk organizer free, plus AARP the magazine. Call or go to yesaarp.org now.
We're here today to set the record straight about Dupuytren's contracture. Surgery is not your only treatment option. People may think their contracture has to be severe to be treated, but it doesn't. Visit findahandspecialist.com today to get started.
When you find your reason to go on, let it pull you past the doubt, past the pain, and past your limits. No matter what, we go on. BioFreeze.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Jardiance may cause serious side effects including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Next tonight, Montana late today becoming the first state in the U.S. to pass a bill banning TikTok on all personal devices. The bill prohibits the popular social media app from operating within the state. If signed by the governor, it would take effect in January. TikTok has suggested it will take legal action. The Biden administration has threatened a nationwide ban demanding TikTok's Chinese owners sell the company because of concerns China could access users' personal data. When we come back, a frightening moment, a man at home suddenly coming face to face with a bear.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Did you know GoodRx can help you get a better price on your family's prescriptions?
I just open the app, type in the name of our meds, that's it. Savings on my asthma medication. All right, round 2, baby, round 2. Oh, yeah! Savings on my husband's blood pressure refills. And savings on my daughter's allergy pills.
Prescription savings for the whole family.
Have a good one.
Another good reason to check GoodRx.
Purina One has the inside story on your pet's health. It starts inside the gut with Purina One with Microbiome Balance. Natural prebiotic nutrition promoting gut health and immune support. Purina One with Microbiome Balance.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Go-Low and taking Release. Since taking Release, my sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. I'm nonstop now. I feel way better than I did before. I don't sit down in life anymore.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, the burning, the itching,
the stinging. My skin was no longer mine.
Emerge Tremfyant. With Tremfya, most people saw 90% clear skin at 16 weeks. The majority of people saw 90% clear skin even at 5 years. Tremfya is the first medication of its kind, also approved for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. And it's 6 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge Tremfyant with Tremfya. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
Right now at Ashley, get 0% interest for 60 months on select best-selling mattresses. And visit your local Ashley store to experience our test rest and learn about savings options throughout the store with qualifying mattress purchases. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com for better sleep and savings today.
To the index now, a startling face-to-face encounter in Asheville, North Carolina. A home security camera showing the moment a man relaxing in his carport is jolted by a black bear sneaking up behind him. Take a look. The bear appearing to be just as scared as he was, both locking eyes for a moment before the bear turned and ran. The man handled it better than I would have, that's for sure. When we come back, the curtain about to come down for the last time on Broadway's longest-running show.
What if my type 2 diabetes takes over?
What if all I do isn't enough? Or what if I can do diabetes differently?
Now you can with Once Weekly Mounjaro. Mounjaro helps your body regulate blood sugar. And Mounjaro can help decrease how much food you eat. 3 out of 4 people reached an A1C of less than 7%. Plus, people taking Mounjaro lost up to 25 pounds. Mounjaro is not for people with type 1 diabetes or children. Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Mounjaro and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, vision changes, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis and gallbladder problems. Taking Mounjaro with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Tell your doctor if you're nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can cause dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I can do diabetes differently with Mounjaro.
Ask your doctor about Once Weekly Mounjaro.
With Fidelity Income Planning, we'll help you create a clear, personalized plan for cash flow, even when you're not working. A plan that includes all your accounts so you can enjoy whatever comes next. That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
My son really had to be head of the household because I became a dependent. My tip is, every time I wanted to smoke a cigarette, I would think of my children.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
What if our skin conditions could be cared for in the shower?
In the shower? I'm listening.
Introducing new Dove Body Wash for eczema-prone, hyperreactive, and dry, cracked skin with dermatologist-approved ingredients.
Yay!
New Dove Body Wash for skin conditions.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up. I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Skyrizi is the first and only IL-23 inhibitor for Crohn's that can deliver both clinical remission and endoscopic improvement. The majority of people on Skyrizi achieve long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Northwest Harvest's new free grocery store is hitting a snag with the parking lot. Tonight we'll show you the temporary solution and why advocates don't want it to be permanent. Plus, light showers expected for this weekend. We'll have a look at the timing coming up on KAPP KVEW Local News at 6.
ABC. Finally tonight, after a record-breaking run, the Phantom's final bow. It's the end of an era on Broadway. Phantom of the Opera completing its historic 35-year run. The iconic Andrew Lloyd Webber production tells the story of a mysterious masked man lurking in the catacombs of the Paris Opera House. Since its Broadway debut in 1988, the musical at the Majestic Theater has been seen by nearly 20 million people, grossing more than $1 billion. But Phantom wasn't able to rebound after taking a major hit during the pandemic. The last performance of the longest production on Broadway ever will be on Sunday. Today, fans eager to catch its final bow.
I saw this a long time ago when I was a kid.
My parents got engaged the night they saw it here, and then I've been obsessed with it off and on since I was 5.
And many of the thousands who work behind the scenes grateful and still moved by the music of the night.
And listen to the music of the night.
The music is so lush and so beautiful and so romantic. People never tire of hearing it.
The generations that have come to see this show, the excitement that I see every night on people's faces.
My daughters absolutely love that show. It will be missed. Thanks so much for watching tonight. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. Hope to see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
You will now be singing for America's vote.
The top 26 take the stage from Disney's Aulani Resort, and the performances are
Crazy? Talented.
American Idol, new Sunday and Monday.
You can prepare as much as possible.